Hello beautiful souls and welcome. Today I wanted to discuss with you a very important question that I quite often get on this channel, and that is, can you use fake oracle and tarot cards? I have quite the collection of fake oracle and tarot cards. I bought most of these before I even realized that these were a thing. I thought I was buying real tarot cards. And, quite often people ask, what's the difference between this and this? Can you still read with this? Short answer, yes, you can definitely read with this. The reason I have made so many videos comparing real tarot cards and real oracle cards to the fake, against copyright, knockoff decks is because when I bought these decks, I was expecting the real deal. I was expecting a product that was sold by the person who made it or by the publishing company whom they decided to work with. I didn't know that I was supporting someone who had stolen the artwork, stolen the guidebooks, and created counterfeit decks. That is why I have put out so many videos on the topic, is because I want other people to know that this does not support Stephen D. Farmer. This sure does support some people, but not necessarily in an ethical way. There are many different challenging parts ethically about these decks. I'm not going to go into it in great detail, but just the fact that it's stolen artwork, it's stolen ideas, the fact that they can produce them for so cheap makes me question the labor environment for the people creating these cards. I don't know, there's a lot. When you buy this deck, this is Earth Magic Oracle cards, just like this one, by Stephen D. Farmer. This is put out by Hay House. I actually bought this directly from Hay House, and this goes towards the artist, the illustrator, the creators, the people who put their energy into designing and coming up with the concept for this deck. So, back to the question at hand. Can you use fake oracle cards for divination, for reading, for whatever? And the answer is, of course you can. These cards, whether it be Earth Magic, whether it be Witch's Wisdom, whether it be The Universe Has Your Back, whether it be the Wildwood Tarot, Animal Totem Tarot, there's so many of them. Ultimately, they're just paper. The connection that you have to your deck and your intuition is what allows the messages to come through. You can study as much as you want about the meaning of different cards. You can study how to read tarot a million times over. And in fact, you don't even have to have tarot cards. You can, the base of cartomancy is with playing cards, with just what has evolved into the minor arcana, the hearts, the pentacles, the hearts, the spades, the clubs, the diamonds. That is the basis of the major arcana. The Jack, Queen, King is the court cards. And you can read with playing cards. I've even seen people who take cue cards, like recipe cards, or even just heavy card stock, cut out a card shape and write a word on it. Sometimes they don't, sometimes they use wordless decks and just shuffle and allow that to be the vessel through which your messages come through. ultimately the way that I use tarot and the way that I use oracle is with my intuition. I don't even have to look at the cards that have popped out before I know what I'm going to say. And when you allow yourself to really get involved in this world, that tends to be the story for a lot of people. It's not that you're making something up. It's that you're following and listening to your intuition. And a lot of people who really will get into divination, who really will get into not even so much divination, but I mean, because I don't really do psychic predictions. I focus on mirror work and shadow work and using these as a tool to look at parts of my soul, parts of my psyche, or that of my clients or my viewers. It is simply a tool. And there are all sorts of different variables in the tools that we use. If this is all you can afford, then use this. If this is going to break the ice and get you involved in this community, be it something that you really want to do, if this is all you can afford, if this is all you have access to, by all means, use this. I am not here to tell you that you can't use it because of the ethics involved. That's not my place. That is for you to decide. I am just here to share the message that I didn't know when I bought these cards. I also feel like there is such a big gatekeeper for this community, for so many people. There's so many rumors that go around that you can't even buy yourself tarot cards, or at least your first deck. I've had so many people ask me, or say, I thought you had to be given your first tarot deck. Now, there are some cultures around the world that do pass down tarot decks, or really just card decks in general. I'm not even going to label them tarot decks, that will pass down tarot decks. But more importantly, it's about passing down knowledge and passing down skills through ancestry. There have been many people that have said decks like these are their only option because they can't get these decks in their country, or they can't get those decks in their language. These decks have actually been translated into many different languages, apparently. I haven't stumbled upon them, but I've heard stories. And that does make it accessible for more people. Or not so much that the decks, but the guidebooks have been translated, I guess, is what has happened. But if you live somewhere where a legit copy of a deck is 3, 4, 5 times as much as it might be in the US, then I totally understand the appeal of getting one of these from eBay for just a couple dollars. I know that I'm in Canada, and I know I pay a lot more than my friends in the States for the same deck. Even without factoring for the exchange rate, it's just more expensive here. And many people have told me the price of these things in their countries, and I totally get it, especially with what people are paid for their work in different country, different housing costs, and just different factors that we all have to deal with. I understand that not everyone can afford the real authentic decks, and that's perfectly fine, especially when real authentic decks can change so much in price. Like, my cheapest deck, I believe, is my Rider Tarot, which was $15, I think, around there. And while I don't have any super expensive decks, I have seen decks that are upwards of $100 for a single deck. And that is a lot of money. I can't afford that much. I kind of max out at about $35. If it's a deck that I really want, I maybe will spend $35. For example, I really want the Kim Kranz decks. I really want the Wild Unknown, the Animal Spirits, the Archetypes deck. But they're out of my price range. Those are about $45 each. And so right now, that's out of my price range. And for a long time, something like this would have been the only thing in my price range. I now like to save up my money and buy myself a deck every once in a while, but I know that is a privilege, and I know that not everyone can do that. So if you have to buy this, buy it. Do not feel bad. If this is all you can afford, then that's fine. But again, there are other options. You can use playing cards. You can make your own cards. I've even seen ones that you can print off. You just need like a heavier card stock so that you can shuffle the cards. But again, that also assumes that you have access to the internet, access to a printer, and access to the card stock. So there is a level of privilege around being able to use tarot and oracle cards. So I hope that no one has ever made you feel bad for the decisions you've had to make. I hope I have never made you feel bad. It's never been my intention to put blame or put guilt on someone who has these cards. I mean, heck, I've got them, right? Like, I have these in my hands right now as we speak. Clearly, I supported these people as well. But it's just about knowledge and about passing on the knowledge and the information. And I don't want you to buy these decks assuming they're real, but I also don't want you to not buy these decks assuming they won't work. These are just a tool for you to access your intuition, and there are many other ways to access your intuition, but this is a great jumping off point. And if this is where you want to start, then so be it, okay? I hope you found this video helpful. I hope that it clears things up. I know there's a whole bunch of myths around tarot and oracle cards. And if you have any questions or any topics you would like me to talk about, please let me know down in the comments below. I will either answer your comment directly or I will do a video if it needs a longer answer. Okay? Love, light, and happiness to all of you. I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye.